All right, all right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good afternoon. So we've got a good number of people coming up here. It's 4:02, and we are going to start the the Business on Chai series very soon. And till the time everyone is joining in, we're going to wait for a while. And in the meantime, all of you who've just joined in, I would want you to go to the chat box and please tell me which city are you from and what business do you do, so that I get to understand who you are and where are you joining from. So which city are you from and what business do you do? Good afternoon, good afternoon. I will introduce myself, Mr. Pathak. Don't worry. All right. Hi, Sushma. So we've got someone named Organic Sarthi. You got to tell me your name as well. So guys, welcome. My name is Ayush Joshi, and I am one of the partners with Amit sir. I am the director for marketing in the company, and I have been working and I've been privileged to be working with about 2,500 entrepreneurs on a one-to-one level, helping them and coaching them, building marketing funnels, designing strategies of marketing which makes them profitable, which helps them acquire customers in the most effective manner. That has been my role in the organization as a partner and as a designated partner and the director for marketing. So welcome everyone. Welcome. And I want you to go to the chat box and type out which city are you from, okay, and what business do you do. So which city are you joining in from and what business are you involved in, so that I get to understand that what kind of crowd is joining in and what kind of what kind of conversations we can take forward. All right. Hello, Mr. Basant. We've got Mr. Raman. Okay, let's see. People have started sharing up. So travel with a yogi. All right. Then let's see. Who else is there? Okay, we've got Mr. Smith Sona. Right, Kolkata education. I'm Chipune. All right, come on, everyone. All of you have just joined in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ayush Joshi, and I am the director for marketing in the company. Unfortunately, because of some technical reason, Amit Parekh sir could not join in. So I have been given the responsibility to ensure that I deliver the best possible value to you. And today's session is going to be a very, very powerful one. So I'll be leading the session today, but I want you to make sure that you are here 100% with me. I want to make sure that you are comfortable. So go to the chat box and tell me which city are you joining in from, and let me know what business do you do, so that I get to understand which place of the country are you from and how exactly are you connected. All right, so we've got someone who's doing digital marketing from Bangalore. We've got Vishan from Delhi. We've got Aditya who's from Pune. All right. Then we've got Spandan Financial Services. Hello, Spandan Financial Services. You got to tell me your name as well. We've got Vikas Kumar. He's into Bangalore and IT. Okay. Then we've got Basant, who's an interior designer from Mumbai. We've got Pratyush, who's from Bangalore. We've got Narovex, which is from Tokyo, brand manager for Panasonic. Welcome on board, my dear friend. It's going to be a fun journey today. We've got Mr. CA Anubhav Prakash. He's into education, Indore, MP. Oh, I am natively from Indore. I am from Indore. All right, we've got Krishna, who's from Bangalore. Come on, everyone. All of you have just joined in. Go to the chat box. And today is going to be a very powerful session. And once a lot of people more join in, we've got a lot of people joining in, I'm going to introduce myself again, and I'm going to make sure that you understand why am I here. And today we're going to learn some massive learning. We're going to have some amazing concepts about building a business, especially people who are in the tech business, who are in the technology business will get a lot of insights on how to build your technology business. And all of you who are not from the technology business background, you will get to understand what a business model shift can do for you. So you will understand how technology business model works, and you will also understand, is there a possibility that you can figure out something from that space, from that particular business model, which can be applied in your business to help you accelerate your journey in the business. So I want each and every one of you who've just joined in to quickly go to the chat box. People who've just joined in, the new people, I want you to make sure that you go to the chat box, tell me which city are you from, what business are you involved in, so that I know where are you joining from. So we've got some new people who've just joined in. So let's welcome some new people. So we've got Mr. K. Deshmukh, who's into industrial services. We've got Ravi, who's from Bangalore. He's a tax consultant. We've got Mr. Shiva, who's from Bangalore, scientific supplies. We've got Surya, who's from Jaipur and is running an e-commerce business. Welcome, my dear friend. We've got Sushil Agarwal. He's into manufacturing of aluminium profiles. We've got Gopinath. Okay, welcome, my dear friend. Home Point Developers, Tamil Nadu. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very powerful series which we call as Business on Chai. Okay, now I don't have a chai with me. I usually do not consume chai. I'm more of a coffee guy, but still the series is Business on Chai because Amit sir is a fan for chai. And the idea here is, in today's session, every Tuesday, we come live at 4 p.m. or 4:05. Idea here is to give you some knowledge in the world of business, which can help you accelerate your journey. That is the central idea. That is the whole idea behind doing this session. So I want to warmly welcome each and every one of you, all of you who are here. Welcome to this session. And I am privileged to be hosting this show for you. Now, I know a lot of you were expecting Amit Parekh sir. Unfortunately, because of some technical reason, he is not part of today's session, but he's given me the responsibility. Now, let me introduce for each and every one of you who are here. My name is Ayush Joshi. I am one of the partners with him in the business. I am the director for marketing. In the past half a decade, I have been responsible for working and coaching on a one-to-one level more than 3,500 business owners in understanding how can they build a profitable marketing funnel, how can they acquire their dream customers in the most profitable manner, what strategies, what platforms, what systems to use to ensure their marketing systems are set right. So that has been my role, and with that knowledge and with the sheer privilege of working with so many entrepreneurs, all the way from manufacturing to service providers to technology startups to your consultants to advisors to retail business owners to traders to distributors, I have had the privilege of working with every model of business. And because of having the privilege to work with all these different forms of businesses, I can help you understand what are the most effective ways in which you can market your product and services. But the topic that we have for today is a rather powerful topic. Now, it's a business model that I want to talk to you about, which has been prevalent across the globe over this period of time. Now, before we get into the core topic, which is understanding the SaaS business model, which is called software as a service, I would like you to quickly see. Now, all of you have joined in from different parts of the country. I can see almost it's a national integration over here. So what I want you to do is I want you to see whoever is in your friend list, who is a business owner, who might get help by attending this session. I want you to quickly go, if you've joined in from YouTube, you can share the link with your friends and family that, hey, you know what, there's a business training session happening and you can attend this session. I wanted to share it with your friends and family. Whoever is a business owner, please understand this training is not for everyone. It's specifically for owners of business who are startups or people who are thinking about starting up. That's what the target audience is all about. So if you have friends, family who could be helpful or who could be there with you or who could be benefited by this learning, I would want you to make sure that you share this session, the link. If you're joined in from our Facebook channel, you can share it. So I quickly want to give you a 1 minute. Quickly share this and go to the chat box and type that you've shared it. SHARED, that you've shared it, so that I know that you've shared it with the people. Now, there is a benefit that's called giver's gain, which means the more you give, the more comes back to you. So the idea here is the session is a knowledge session. So make sure that if you have a WhatsApp group, if you have a community group, if you have any business group, or if you have any friends and family who are in business and you feel that this might be helpful, I would want you to take this initiative and go and share it with them, and then go to the chat box and type shared. Come on, everyone. I'm going to wait for your chats. I want to wait for your comments coming up. Everyone has to go and type out shared. So the moment you've shared it with your friends or family who could gain some benefit out of it, it's going to be rocking. Okay, I see a lot of people have already done that. Superb. I can see a lot of share coming in. All right. Surya, don't worry. You want to carry out your dad's security agency. Sharyu. We're going to help you with that. Don't worry. Awesome. Come on, everyone. If you shared it with your friends and family who are business owners, who can be helped, who could receive some help from this, go to the chat box and type shared. go to the chat box and type shared. Come on, everyone. All right, Mr. Swaroop, welcome from Andhra Pradesh, running a small scale industry. Today, you're going to learn a lot of things about business models. All right. All right. Come on, everyone. If you feel that there are people who can benefit, okay, and you have to be open to it. I mean, it's okay. There's no compulsion. Okay. But if you truly feel that, okay, there are business trainings happening on a weekly basis, this might be knowledge sessions that can be really helpful, then I would urge you to make sure that you go ahead. All right. Okay. So I believe you're ready, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So I think we should get into the topic, and let me just get on with everything that I have. Let me put my notes, everything on. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to a very powerful session today. And what we'll be doing today here is we will be understanding something which is called as a SaaS business model. All right. You can note that down, SaaS, which is software as a service. The idea I am running you through this module, the idea I am sharing this business model with you is lot of you can pick out elements from this business model and apply it in your respective business. Some of you might feel that certain elements are not applicable for my business. It's absolutely all right, but certain features will work very well. And in fact, we'll be doing such sessions regularly where we will be sharing different business models with you, which have been working very well and which have been responsible for creating billions of dollars in business, right? So my question to you, ladies and gentlemen, is if you're ready for understanding a business model which has been responsible for generating billions and billions of dollars, I want to make sure that you're in a very high energy zone. Get your pen and notebooks ready because we're going to dive deep. Now I'm going to be sharing today's business model, which talks about SaaS, which is software as a service. Now, let me give you a little background. Technology business. Now, this model is primarily used in technology business. So technology business has become extremely brutal these days. Okay. You got to understand this, that these days, there are so many companies and there are so many businesses which are involved in creating product or services which are connected to technology. So many apps are coming up, so many startups are coming up, and it's becoming brutal and competitive day by day. So you must be hearing that so many startups are getting billions of dollars or millions of dollars of funding. So many tech giants are, now you already know Google, you already know Yahoo, you already know Amazon. All these are technology giants, which means the central business model on which the entire company is driving is an online model. Now, here is what has started happening in the business model in this particular technology-based business is they've started becoming a lot of saturated, which means we need to understand in which format or what is the most profitable way in which you can design a business model which can help you promote your product and services or promote your technology product and services. Now, amongst all the chaos that is there in the technology business, someone is making an application, someone is making a website, someone is making an online funnel, someone is making an e-commerce portal. So many different options are available. One thing that has been really effective in the technology business is called a SaaS model, which means software as a service business model. Now, this is a completely different way of doing business in the technology space. How is it different? Let me first tell you, for all of you who do not understand what is a SaaS business. So now a SaaS business is primarily, it implies that instead of selling your individual technology product, listen to me carefully, instead of selling your individual technology product or service, what you do is you essentially sell them as a service. So you offer your entire products as a service, which usually has a subscription plan, which means every month the customer will pay you a certain money for the service they are opting. All right. So here is a differentiator in the way businesses are run. Here is a differentiator in the strategy of this entire model. And I'm going to tell you what are the strategic advantages of this particular model. All right. What are the strategic advantages? Number one, this is a model which creates a universally applicable model of product, which means you can decide one product and around that you can create a service, and then you can simply do permutation combination for any customer. Okay, you want this service, I can add this in my feature. You don't want this service, I can remove this in my feature, and you can create flexibility through a universally applicable product. This is one of the advantages of using SaaS as as a business model. The next advantage is you create a standardization in making your product, which means most often the problem that technology businesses face is that everyone wants to have a customized solution, or everyone is asking for this product or this particular modification or that kind of modification. But when you go with a software as a service model, what happens is you create a standardization, which means your foundation is set. Now on that foundation you can build any modification. Now, a lot of other businesses can also do that you can create a central array of your product or services, and then any customer that requires certain addition or subtraction can be done in the same product or a service, rather than customizing each and every service for every customer. And the most important factor that comes into the entire SaaS business model is there is a massive improvement in the cash flow. The reason being that a SaaS business model is primarily focused on getting a subscription, which means all those platforms that are based on software as a service, you pay them on a monthly basis or you pay them on a yearly basis. Like I'll tell you for an example, a lot of big corporations actually use Salesforce as a SaaS product. Now, Salesforce is a SaaS company. I don't know how many of you have heard about it. It's a $1 billion company. And this is one of the first companies in the world that created the SaaS model, which is software as a service. And in fact, their entire campaign when they actually launched their company was that death to software. Understand, I'll tell you the evolution of technology. Initially, when technology was booming, when technology was growing, people started creating softwares to help businesses. They created Excel so that accounting can be done right. They created Word docs so that documentations can be done right. Then they created PowerPoint so that presentations can be made easily. And then a lot of other software started coming up. Tally started coming up for your accounting. Then a lot of other big software started coming up. Now, the problem with these softwares was that you need to purchase the software, then install it on your computer, which used to take big memory size. So people used to start facing problem that, you need specific computer requirements. It should have good memory. It should have good power. It should have good processor. And that started becoming a big problem. That is when the owner or the founder of Salesforce came into the picture, and he saw that there is a problem with the existing technology, that it requires a lot of memory power, lot of processing power. And every time a purchase happens for a product, someone has to go on and actually put it on a system or a computer, which required a lot of effort. And that is when he decided, what if I can create a software, put it on a cloud, which means put it on a server, and then all I need to do is I need to sell the subscription. The software is same. The purpose is same. It's going to help you with accounting, no problem. You pay us every month $10. You have your own space on the server. You can put your documents. You can download your reports. Everything is there on the server. You don't have to install anything on your computer. You don't need to install the software. You don't need to do anything at all. Everything is based on the server. Everything is digitally connected. You can create multiple accounts. So your colleagues can also look at the data that you have. Your colleagues can also access the reports that you have, which basically makes sure that you have a centralized access. All right. So you got to make sure that you understand that when you create a business model which has a subscription plan. Now, software as a service usually comes as a subscription model, which means if you want to purchase or if you want to get a software which can be used as a service, you basically buy a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription. Like few of the top software as service products are, you can use GetResponse, which is an email marketing tool. Now, you don't need to install that software. You just need to go to getresponse.com, take a free trial for 15 days. And then after that, if you feel that this email marketing tool is really good for you, you can take a subscription. You can pay them monthly. You can pay them yearly. You can pay them in multiple tranches. So what this essentially does as a strategic advantage is that this gives you a very good cash flow. This is one of the best advantages that you have when you create a business model which has a subscription plan. Now, what we're going to be discussing today is, I want to discuss today that what are the key parameters which are essential for a SaaS based business model to become successful, which means if you want to create a subscription based business model. Now, this, whatever I'm telling you, is also applicable on a non-technological product or a service or a business as well. If you have a non-technology business, if you have a non-technology service, the parameters will still work for you. And I really want you to pay attention to this. All right. I want you to make sure that you make your notes. So number one parameter for any SaaS business model, which is a subscription-based business model, is you need to have very good clarity of your funnel, which means you need to understand how will you get money from your customer. A funnel is nothing but a very clear pathway of how will a prospect become a paying customer. Okay, that's a very simple definition of a funnel. Now, whenever, if at all, you have a technology-based product or a service, your funnel will look like, number one, you can write that down. Number one, the idea here is that you need to make sure that you drive traffic. You need to understand how do you drive traffic to your platform. It could be your website, it could be the main platform from where you want to sell your service, it could be anything. Same goes for a non-technology as well. If you're a non-tech business, if you create a marketing page, step one is to get traffic on that page. Step two is you give them a free trial, which means you offer them something. You offer them, you can say that a part of your entire service in a free trial. Usually, all major software as a service based companies, all SaaS companies offer you a 15 to 20 days free trial. They'll say, hey, you know what? We've got a very good product. You can use this product in different ways. You can use it for marketing or sales or whatever purposes, your accounting, your bookkeeping, it could be anything. And we're not going to charge you for 15 days. Use this. If you feel this is actually helping you in your business, then you can start paying us on a monthly basis. So what they essentially do is, it's a bait. Okay, you can write that down. It's a bait. Bait is what? When you go fishing, you put something in that entire thing and then you throw it in the water. And then what happens is the fish comes and tries to catch the bait, and that's how you pull it up. Similarly, when you create a 15-day trial, you essentially give them a bait that, hey, you know what? I've got a very good product which you can use. It will help you in this specific area of your business and it will solve a certain problem, and it's free for 15 days. Only if you like it after 15 days, you can start paying me, but on a monthly or an annual fee. Certain companies have positioned themselves so well that they only accept annual payments, which means in one shot, they get the entire year's payment. And certain companies have got different payment plans. They pay you, you can pay monthly, you can pay quarterly, you can pay half yearly. So step one in your funnel is drive traffic. Step two is give them a trial. Step three is upgrade them into subscription. Then after that is that you basically offer them an upgrade or an upsell. This gives you more revenue per customer. I'm going to repeat that. Listen to me very carefully. Step one, get traffic to your platform. Step two, give them a free trial. Step three, push them for a subscription. Step five, ask them for an upgrade. So usually what is an upgrade? I'll tell you what is an upgrade. Upgrade is if someone is paying you monthly, you tell them that, hey, you know what? You're paying me monthly $10, which means over a period of 12 months, you'll pay me, say, about $120. If you pay me yearly in one shot, you can save $20, pay me $100 upfront. So what you've done is you essentially started taking more revenue over a period of time, right? Or you can do a cross sell that, hey, you know what? You are using our accounting software. We've also got a very good customer relationship management software. Why don't you buy this? We'll give you 20% off. So what you are doing essentially is you are increasing your revenue per customer. Now, here is what I want each and every one of you who is not from the technology business background. I want you to look into your business and see, can this funnel work for you? If you drive traffic, offer them something for free. It could be a trial or a demo or a consultation. It could be anything. Then number three, after they've experienced you, then you move towards asking them for a subscription, which means they can pay you in a monthly installment or they can pay you in a yearly fee. And then from there, you offer them upgrades, which means you have more value to offer. So you ask them that, hey, you know what, you can go for a yearly plan, you can go for a lifetime plan, or you can go for a one-time plan. A lot of companies have done is, instead of paying us once in every year, you pay us one time and then you never pay us. And then they take out a big chunk of money from you. But what happens is they essentially tell you that if you pay us this amount at one time, you'll never have to pay us anything. We'll give you free upgrades. So these are the ways they start increasing revenue per customer. Okay, understand the terminology. So first thing is, step one is, we have clarified the funnel. We understood the funnel. Funnel is traffic drive करना है. Then after that trials offer करने हैं. Trials के बाद हमें उन्हें subscription offer करना है monthly, so that revenue starts coming in. And then after that, we got to make sure that we offer them an upgrade. Now, the next step that you need to take care of, the next very important parameter, hire sales representatives. Here is where people go wrong, especially people who are starting up, especially people who are on a small scale of their business. They want to save the cost of hiring because they feel by not hiring, they will save money, which will go in their own pocket, which means they will be able to take more money home by not hiring. Now, I'll tell you two major reasons because of this will not work. Number one, if you don't hire, that means you end up doing everything in your business. That means you are only taking care of marketing, you are only taking care of sales, you are only taking care of operations, you are only taking care of customer service, you are only taking care of delivery, you are only taking care of research and development, you are only taking care of accounting, and that is too many roles for one human being to handle. You can do this when you have a small scale business. On a very small scale, you can do this. You have got only 3-4 customers and you are only catering to those 3-4 customers, no problem. You are a one-man army, you can handle it. But the moment you start growing the business, you cannot play so many roles. You need to hire people so that you can delegate certain work over a period of time, so that you can actually focus on the core area of the business, which is how do you strategically grow this business? What actions can you take to exponentially grow this business? And the first step that you need to move forward is getting your salespeople, which means people who can actually sell your product and services to potential customers. Now, I will tell you one more thing. If you are in a B2B business, which means you are one business who is selling to another business, a lot of times people will need other people to help you understand how can your product and a service impact their business. So you got to make sure that you do the hiring right. That is the second most important factor that you need to focus on, that you must hire people so that you are not involved in each and every activity of the business. You are not taking care of each and every function. Otherwise, I'll tell you, because you are handling everything in your own business, you will end up doing everything in your own business. And you will end up doing everything in your own business, which means you will become self-employed. And that is one of the most difficult way in which you got to come out. That's not how you want to run your business. So you have to make sure that instead of doing everything by yourself, you start delegating. All right. And then after that, the next step that comes is, and I'll tell you what the next step is, that you got to make sure that you understand the economics. Now, there are certain economics which work very well for all forms of businesses, and there are certain economics which might only work for technology businesses. But I'm going to still give you the parameters on what are the critical factors that you need to focus on. So you can write that down. Make sure your pen and papers are all ready. So what are the critical factors on which you need to focus on? Okay. Number one critical factor that you need to focus on is that you got to make sure that you have a very good understanding of your cost of acquiring customer. Write that down. Cost of acquiring customer. Which means, I'll give you an example. Say you're running an ad. You've invested 1 lakh rupees in the ad. Out of that, you've got, say, 10 leads. Okay. And out of those 10 leads, only one has converted into paying customer. Okay. So you ran ads for 1 lakh rupees, you generated 10 leads, only one person paid money. So your cost of acquisition is actually 1 lakh rupees per customer, which means you are paying 1 lakh rupees to acquire one customer. Now, here is what I want you to understand the economics. If you are not making more money out of that customer, that means you are losing money. So here is what I want you to see the difference. Now, here are two different ways in which traditional business and technology business works. Technology business, initially, you will make a loss. In technology business, whoever has the more money to acquire customer will actually win in the long run. That is the reason you will see that all technology startups are losing money. But the reason they are able to still get millions of dollars of funding, the reason they are still able to become $1 billion in evaluation is because the lifetime value of the customer is very high. So I'm going to give you a mathematical calculation. So listen to me very carefully. If the lifetime value of your customer, listen to me very carefully and note down, if the lifetime value of your customer is more than 3 times the cost of acquisition, then you can invest in marketing and advertising where you're still losing money to acquire customer. अगर आपका कस्टमर का लाइफ टाइम वैल्यू 3 गुना ज्यादा है कस्टमर को अक्वायर करने के कॉस्ट से, तो आप इस तरीके का मार्केटिंग फनल चला सकते हो जिसमें आप पैसा लूज कर रहे हो. That is the reason all technology startups initially burn money. They burn cash because they are only pumping money to get new customers who will eventually start paying them on a monthly basis and help them make money. So initially you will not see any money. And that is one of the biggest reason that if you start a technology startup, you need funding. The reason you need funding is you don't have the kind of capital to pump in to acquire more customers. Eventually, if you are using your own money, you will run out of money. If you run out of money, that means someone who's got more money than you will pump the money, acquire the customer, and eventually in the long run will make more money. Now, here is another question that comes into people's mind. What is lifetime value of the customer? Lifetime value of the customer means what is the maximum amount of money that a customer pays on an average to you. So say, for example, let's take an example. I have a company. This company, say, gives, I have an accounting software and I take every month $10 from my customers. And at the end of the year, I get $120 every year from my customer. So far clear? Now, I have seen in my data, let's take an example that one customer stays with me for 4 years. After that, they somehow, for some reason, they leave. Okay. So if they're staying for 4 years, that means my lifetime value of the customer is $120 into 4, which means $480 is the lifetime value of my customer. Now, here is what I need to understand. Whatever I am paying to acquire that customer and whatever is my lifetime value, if the lifetime value is 3 times, only then I can invest in a marketing strategy which is losing money in acquiring the customer. And if I know that with this marketing strategy I will lose money, that is the point when you need to look for an investor that, okay, I have a business, I have a service, I have a product. This product has a 3 times more lifetime value, and that is where I want to move forward, and that's why I want to now start acquiring customers. So this is the point where I need to start looking for funding. And these are the parameters that your investors are going to ask you, that what is the cost of acquisition of your customer? That's the first question they will ask you. Next question they will ask you is, what is the lifetime value of your customer? The third question they will ask you is, what are the strategies that you have to retain this customer? Which brings us to the next point, that if you want to retain these customers, you want to make sure that they keep with you, they keep paying you money, and rather increase the money that you want. You need to keep upsell, cross-sell, and upgrades. You must have upsell, cross-sell, and upgrades. Now, some of you might not be aware with these terminologies because we've got all forms of people. You've got all backgrounds of people who are just starting up, people who've already been in business. So I'm trying to keep my conversation in a moderately easy level. I'm not going super technical. So I want to make sure that all of us understand. So the point here is you need to have upsell, cross-sell, or upgrade, which means, say for example, I have an accounting software. You are paying me $10 every month. Can I do something from in a way that I can get $20 from you every month? So I'll say, hey, you know what? If you become a premium customer of my accounting software, I will give you 10 additional reports. I will appoint a account representative for you who will help you make meaning of the reports, who will help you file your whatever compliances are there. So, but for that you need to pay me $20. So that's an upsell, which means I offered you a premium service over the main service that, and I'm asking you for more money. So that's an upsell. Another thing that I can do is if I have a accounting software and I tell you, hey, you know what? If you have a marketing team, I also have a marketing software where you can put all your leads. You can get all the data of what is happening with your leads. You can download reports. You can check the quality. You can create statuses. So I think you should also buy that software, and I'll give you 15% off. You will just have to pay, say, $5 every month. Now, instead of the customer paying you $10 every month, now the customer is paying you $15 every month. So you have, again, because you've cross-sold, you had one product, you sold him another product. And again, because of this, what you've done is you've increased your revenue per customer. That is where you make the money. That is how you slowly increase the lifetime value of your customer. So Vijay is asking, yes, Vijay, only over a period of time you can calculate the lifetime value of your customer. If you've just started out, say you're 3, 4, 5 months old, you will not have the lifetime customer value data. But what you can understand is you can take an average of, say, 6 months or 12 months. That is the reason that a pilot test is run. That you start before you take the funding. It's a good practice that you go forward and start selling your product in the market, start getting some initial customers, and then see for how long are they with you. Are they with you from the past 6 months, 8 months? So say, for example, you've reached the customer right now, reached the fund, you've reached a investor right now. It's been 8 months that your business has started. And if 100% of the people who paid to you are still paying you every month, then you can say that right now, my lifetime value of the customer is 8 months because they're with me from 8 months. Okay. So you got to make sure that the point number 4 is you got to make sure that you cross sell, upsell. Now, here is what I want you to understand is in this business model, the key is not to just get people. The key is not to just get people to pay you monthly, pay you on a weekly basis, or pay you on a a yearly basis. The key here is that you should be increasing revenue per customer every month, probably every quarter. So let's quickly look at certain parameters that we've discussed about for the software as a service business model. Okay. Number one thing is we talked about creating and defining a proper funnel. All right. We talked about creating and defining a proper funnel. Funnel means how will your prospect become a paying customer? We talked about generating traffic. We talked about giving them free trial. We talked about then converting them into monthly or yearly subscribers. And then after that, we talked about giving them upsell, cross-sell to increase the revenue per customer. Next is we talked about hiring a sales representative, which means if you want to strengthen your revenue streams, you need more people selling, more people interacting with your customers, making them understand how your product and services can help them, and thus getting more money in the company. So you need to make sure that you don't make the mistakes of not hiring, and especially people who've got technology business, people who are technology startups or who've been running a technology business. A lot of times they feel that because my business is online, I can sell online, I can market online, I don't need salespeople. Biggest mistake. All billion-dollar technology businesses have hardcore salespeople. People who talk to other businesses, make them understand how their product or services can help their businesses. You got to make sure that you do the same. So don't underestimate the power of hiring salespeople. In fact, do it as early as possible. Now, here is a dilemma that a lot of business owners face. Should I hire people when I make the money, or should I hire before and then? Now I'll tell you, if you want to make the money, you need people doing it. Because if you are doing it on your own, and if you're handling all those things that you have to handle, which means you're handling marketing, sales, operations, research development, accounts, MIS, management, customer delivery, everything, if you're handling, you will never be able to do justice with each and every function, which means you will never make the money. You will never make the kind of money for which you're looking to hire. Understand, hiring is an investment. It's an investment. You invest in hiring, you get the people, give them clarity of the role, help them understand that how exactly it should work out, and then they start doing their job. You start coaching, commenting them, you start holding them accountable, training them, and they will help you get the business online. Right? That is exactly how you do it. So you got to make sure that you hire them. Next is you have to understand the SaaS economics. Now, when you're using a subscription-based business model, especially in a technology space, you will lose a lot of money initially. And that is the reason you got to understand that you have the right funding in place, because it's all about who can spend more money to acquire customer. That is the game. It's always about that. And that is the reason you must have a very good revenue funnel, which means you must have a very good model where you can make a good amount of money from each customer. The lifetime value also should be very high, and the overall acquisition cost, as I've given you the mathematics, it should be 3 times. Whatever money you're spending on acquiring one customer, they should give you 3 times more. Then it makes sense. Then it's profitable, and then any investor will be putting money for you because they can see the mathematics working in. All right. And last is you got to make sure that you keep your upsell. You got to make sure that you keep cross sells and you keep upgrades. A lot of businesses keeps upgrade, right? They give you an opportunity to upgrade that. Hey, you know what? You are in the monthly plan. You can upgrade to the yearly plan and save this amount of money. Absolutely. All right. So here are these 4 parameters that I wanted to share with you. Now I'm going to give you 1 minute. Take a minute, go through your notes, and make sure that you have written down all the important things so that you get an understanding of how you can pick out few pieces of this business model and get them applied. So I'm going to give you 1 minute. Make sure you make your notes of all the learnings that we've done, and then we move forward. All right. So many companies, Sonu Kumar, have this model. If you look at getresponse.com, salesforce.com, infusion.com, clickfunnels.com, these are all software as a service, right? If you go to Google, Google has got your, G Suite. G Suite, they give you Gmail, they give you domain. All these are software as service. Okay, Satish, upgrade means can you offer them a better level? So say they are paying you monthly. Every month they're paying you some, say 1,000 rupees. You tell them, hey, you can upgrade. Right now you're paying 1,000 rupees. You're only getting 10 things. If you pay me 1,200 rupees, you will get 12 things. So that's an upgrade. Okay. All right. Netflix, absolutely. Software as a service. Mahmood Khan, absolutely correct. Zoho, Mahesh Krishna Shetty, absolutely. And Zoho is one of the Indian companies which is in the SaaS business with a phenomenal profit. They've done it beautifully. 556 crores of profit they made last year from their 2,500 crore turnover. Very, very beautiful example of SaaS. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to understand this is a business model that all of you can use, but you need to think which element of this business model can you use. All right. So that is what I wanted to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being a part of this Business on Chai series. I hope this was a little technical, but rather interesting session, which gave you some understanding around how business models are designed, how funnels are taken care of, what do investors look into, and how can you also have certain subscription models. So I want to make sure that you have that understanding. We'll be doing more powerful training sessions in the coming future. make sure every Tuesday, 4 p.m., you guys are free for half an hour to 40 minutes for these powerful sessions. All right. So with that note, I will be taking your leave, ladies and gentlemen. See you very soon. Bye-bye. Take care. God bless you all.